Buzzers, what's going on? You are joining us for another episode of Lucifer's After Show. We are in Season 2, Episode 4, Lady Parts. Let's go.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Ready, guys? Time to get down. What? Ladies' night? I don't know why it's ladies' parts. Damn it, Leroy. Anyways, what's going on, Buzzers? I'm Alikona Bradford. So happy to have you joining us again this week for Lucifer. And as you can see, again, we keep the table wide open just for you. So make sure you co-host right along with us. All you have to do is join the hashtag ABTVLucifer. We'll read your comments and, say them out loud. But in the meantime, hello.
Hello, I'm Lacretia Lyon, so you guys can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one.
Yes, and I have absolutely no idea, but I've noticed the episodes that I have lead hosted, I always do the introduction, and when I get to the title of the show, it comes out in this awful British accent. I'm all, why am I doing this right now?
At least with this episode, Chloe did it as well, and it was funny.
True.
So it's like she had a funny Lucy impersonation.
Yes, high five. I was also telling Lacretia before the show started, I hadn't really watched many interviews with Lindsay, and I did not realize that she had such a thick Australian accent.
Yeah, Lesley-Ann Brandt, it's really hard to, see her as anyone other than Maze.
Because she's so just like tough and whatever. And you'll see in a video that I'm showing in News and Gossip, she shows a little bit of her training, but just talking as, an everyday girl, you're like, wait, what?
I know, it's funny.
Yeah, I love it. It's really cute. Anyways, let's get into the episode a little bit, shall we? Quick question to all of you guys at home, because maybe I just never realized, since Lucifer is so chic and metro and just in style, he's a business owner. Has he not ever had a cell phone before?
Yeah, I thought that was so interesting. I felt like, we've seen him with a phone, but I just don't think he realized all the fun stuff until he's like, I need a distraction. Oh, apps.
I mean, maybe he had a BlackBerry and he just upgraded to an iPhone or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, games? But yeah, I thought it was really, really interesting. I get it. It drove home the whole point of he's avoiding and teaching everybody else, by the way.
How to avoid, yeah.
Yeah, avoidance. This is a great epiphany. All right. Anyways, I thought it was very cute, very now, if you will.
Yeah, especially because he's like, Tinder date, sex words with friends, more addictive than a whore's navel cocaine.
So glad you documented that.
Yeah.
Great.
I was like, that was a good line.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we were talking about, actually, co-hosts at home, about how they do such a great job of intermingling these cases, these serious things, with those comedy moments, and they do it in such a nice balance that it's never awkward or out of place, and it's so sassy and just sneaky. I like it a lot. Anyways, hello, by the way, to everybody in the chat. Buckery Dog, RJ Martinez, Adam Mack, Stephanie Place. Hi. How are you guys? Something about penis. I'll go ahead and say it pretty out loud. You got the little stars in there, but I can say it because I'm here. So Adam Mack is penis. Pecker pick. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
because he was like, pecker pick,
talking about
pecker
penises
pick.
right now in this hashtag, and are you in the right room? All right. Let's see. Lucy playing Candy Crush. Love it. Okay. Anyways. Okay, so let's actually talk about tonight's episode. I'm going to open up my notes really, really quickly. And let's see. Oh, okay. So favorite part, I might be going a little bit out of order, but of course we have to bring it up. Girls' night.
Yeah, that was so fun, and it was mentioned to Joe Henderson, and he retweeted it about this is actually one of the few episodes that actually closely resembles a comic issue, and it was number 74 of the first Lucifer run with Mike Carey. So it's kind of interesting to see this is not what you'd expect to be actually sort of similar to the comic. Yeah.
Right. But it was cute, and the different personalities all together. And of course they had to do that classic, it started off as a bet. It's like a romantic movie where the guy has to take the ugly girl, well, not ugly, but stylistically challenged girl out and then falls in love and blah, blah. Same thing, but with friends.
Yeah, it's always Taming of the Shrew, told so many times.
Yeah, exactly. But they did such a great job. And it was fun. It was fun to see Maze. I feel like she doesn't really have friends. Outside of Linda, she doesn't know how to be a good girlfriend. So it's a great learning experience for her, great learning experience for Chloe, who hasn't had friends clearly in a long time.
Yeah, that's what I liked is you see how Maze and Chloe are actually a lot more alike than they really let on. And Maze is my favorite character, and especially this episode. Like, we got to see her fun side as well as, like, get Chloe to loosen up. And it's funny that they're going to be living together.
Right, of course, of course. And I like how everybody has their confessions, and they're all jaw-dropping, shocking confessions. You know, you've got Ella, who's stolen cars, and you have Linda, who is the 1-900 operator, and Maze is just saying it how it is. Well, you know, I was condemned to hell, and, you know, I take care of these people. I don't know her exact verbiage, but everyone's like, that's an interesting share. Okay.
She's like, I was forged in hell, you know, to torture and provide justice to those that have done the wrong or something like that.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, okay, moving on.
Right.
And it's so true.
Yeah, totally. But you know what? Here's the thing that they didn't really touch upon is I don't think Chloe knew or anybody knew that Maze could fight like that, and nobody brought it up. No one was like, oh, hey, where did you get your training? Or, wow, that was really cool.
Yeah, and I think no one bats an eyelash because Maze always says lines like, you know, her origin story, or I wish I had my knives and we could have done a blood pact. I love that.
Awesome. And then everybody just let it roll off like, oh, cute blood sisters, and she's over here like, no, really.
She really meant it.
I have daggers. Let's do this. Anyways, I thought that was really cute. Very fun. Enjoyed the fight scene a lot. I love girls that whoop ass. Like, for real, whoop ass. And I'm almost positive she did this fight scene on her own without a double. So that just makes me even more of a fan of her.
Yeah, and Seb Russell even mentions, and Ella was adorable. I agree. I'm like, I really like Ella, and she added a different element, you know, sort of that younger, you know, naive sort of person in the group. And then you have certainly like the more educated Dr. Linda, but they're still all fun.
I totally did not. No. I did not peg her for stealing cars, though. I will say that was a little left field. I was like, okay, interesting, but whatever.
Yeah, we all experiment, right?
Good. I mean, to an extent. But we also have on the opposite end the other person trying to do the avoidance, which is Amenadiel.
I know.
And that man just made me laugh and cry all at the same time in one episode, you know, because you have these endearing moments where he's alone, drinking alone, has that watery eye before Lucifer shows up. But then you got the party hymn. And I'm like, ooh, honey, no, don't dance. No, I don't know what happened. But don't dance. What did
Lucifer say about his dance? His shimmy is a tad off-putting. And then my favorite line of the episode, after so many, was Amenadiel going, Cosmos are yummy.
Yeah. I feel like, though, Lucifer also made some sort of reference about him being white. Like his white dance or something. I was like, oh, girl, yeah. It was pretty bad. Yeah. Anyways, I'm really waiting, though, for Amenadiel to come clean and just share your secret with somebody. You know, even if it is Dr. Linda, which was the most amazing. Because his conversation, obviously, his thought process is right here, and her thought process is right here, and she's going straight to the penis, and he's thinking about his wings. And even as she's explaining, I thought it registered to him what she was referring to, until she looked at his crotch and was like, you're still, you know, a man or whatever it is that she said. And he was like, wait, what?
Yeah, he did not get it until that moment. And that was so funny and so telling of just Amenadiel and Lucifer and Maze all sort of started getting to know, as well as the mom, how Earth is and these still things that they miss, these cues. But that was such a good metaphor.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, and the thing is it takes a real man who can really keep a secret to not want to defend himself and say, whoa, lady, this is working just fine. You know, but obviously then she would have gotten more curious, so he swallowed it and was just like...
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because, I mean, how's he going to explain to her, I have wings and they're wilting and I don't have my magical powers, you know, I'm the son of God.
Yeah, but I mean, you've got Maze and you've got Lucifer who are blatant about the fact that they're not from Earth and that they're... It's just funny because I think if he even told her it was wings, she would still go straight to penis and be like, oh, interesting metaphor. You're just like your... brother.
Yeah, because she doesn't believe them. Like, you know, she just says it, you know, all as a metaphor. Or like Ella, you know, they're just method actors and things like that. I mean, it is L.A.
And I like how Ella was saying to Maze, she had said, do you ever get that feeling that God is telling you? No.
No.
Like, oh, okay. What are you guys saying in the chat? Buckery Dog. She was thinking about his wang. Oh, that wang! While he was thinking about his wings. That's funny.
That
That's
is
really
clever.
Amenadiel doing the Carlton. Ooh, I don't even know if I would give him that much credit, RJ. I don't, like, it was...
Yeah, it wasn't even this.
No. It was a little like... I don't know. Anyways, don't hurt the mic. Okay, anyways, going back into... I know I had a question from Billie Jean Girl who was asking, do you think Amenadiel will tell Lucifer about his wings? I keep wondering that. Honestly, I thought he was going to tell him tonight. I really did. He was so close, I thought.
Yeah, that was the thing, is I thought, going out with Dan and, Lucifer might have opened him up a little bit more and he might have said something while he was drunk, and it was funny, but they sort of kept that. And I feel that maybe with Uriel coming in the next episode, that may be where he starts to talk about it with Lucifer, because now, you've got the bad brother, so they'll get closer together, I feel.
But he was so frustrated in that one moment in the bar when Lucifer was like, just fly her home. I can't fly. And I was waiting for the rest to come out.
Yeah.
And when it didn't, I was like, well, that's it. All right, cool. Conversation's over. Dang. But I don't know. You had just mentioned, though, Dan going out.
Yeah.
That was another favorite for me. And it's not even the fact that everybody thought he was a cop. It's just the fact that he was put in that situation where, hey, by the way, there's this party going on tonight, and you'd be perfect. Go. And you're going with Lucifer.
Yeah, I love how Chloe put him in that situation. And I feel that there was a part of her is like, yes, he really needed to go because he's the only guy cop we have on the show. But at the same time, I felt like she wanted to torture him just a little bit.
That or it's the whole avoidance thing, too. Loosen up. You need to loosen up. If you hang out with Lucifer, you might just relax a little bit.
And I kind of hate that we didn't get to see a more relaxed Dan. He still was in cop mode. I want to see that. I want him to go out with them and have fun like Chloe got to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe he needs to get drunk, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. Either way.
I'm surprised no one said they're like, you look like a cop, but no one made the cop face reference. I guess we did all of our Chuck stuff last week.
But do you really? Okay, let me ask you, let me ask all of our co-hosts at home, do you guys really think Dan looks that much like a cop?
No, I don't think so. He definitely doesn't have the cop face like...
What is cop face?
Adam Baldwin. It's another Chuck reference. Like, Adam Baldwin's character was constantly being called cop face and things like that. But I'm like, I don't see Kevin Alejandro like that.
He just looks clean cut.
Yeah, he looks... and he's not always. I mean, I've seen him play a nurse, a witch nurse, and he's been a bad guy on Arrow. I was like, so I don't think he's cop. Yeah.
I don't know. Well, either way. I thought it was going to be a little bit more awkward, honestly, between him and Chloe, now that they're working together and the official divorce was said out loud, and it's going to be a process now. I'm like, maybe you should transfer. We're trying this whole let's get over each other thing,
Yeah.
But I don't want to see him go anywhere. Obviously, I like him on the show, so I don't know.
Yeah, I like Dan, and I like that he, he's humbled and he's trying to get better. But yeah, let's let Dan loosen up.
Yeah, RJ says that his brother are cops. I'm assuming that you have more than one brother. But either way, what does a cop look like? Give me anybody. That's hence undercover. Hello.
Yeah.
There you go. We haven't talked about the procedural element at all yet, so let's talk about that.
Yeah.
You're like, that's not that important. It's whatever. It's whatever. Just a bunch of two dead girls. No big.
I know, and sadly, again, I was like, oh, she did it. And it was just, again, I've seen her be a criminal on Criminal Minds. And, red hair. I can say it. I got it.
I didn't. Maybe, you know what? Maybe we need to talk to this casting director because they're casting killers that have been killers in the past on other shows, and it's just ruining it for people like Lacretia who've watched all these other shows. Because I didn't. Honestly, I thought it was I call him the butcher. The guy who doesn't like vegans. But anyways, I'm vegan. That's why I say that. But anyhow, but the butcher guy, I thought it was his wife. She had great motive.
Yeah.
You're sleeping with her too?
Yeah, the butcher would have been great. Kiko Ellsworth is such a good actor. And I was like sad that he was literally in one scene. And I'm like, they even billed him in the front. But,
Yeah. I mean, Mom was only in one scene too. I was a little
that was
disappointed.
weird. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but it was cute to see that she's living, what was it, filth bags? The kids are filth bags. And the husband.
She's like, I've learned how to work him. Every time he starts to talk to me, I just have sex with him.
He shuts up. That's about right.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, I was a little disappointed that we only got to see her for like 2.2 seconds.
Yeah.
Somebody, I think it was Billie Jean Girl, who was also asking, do you think that it was right of God to take Chloe's life? Well, technically, he hasn't retaken it. I don't know if you're talking about the first time around. And if it was the first time around, could it have been by chance? Or was
Yeah.
it purposely done because she is affiliated with Lucifer?
Yeah, I don't think that Chloe was meant to die, and that's why God spared her more than anything. I think he just liked Lucifer to ask. It's just sort of like, you just want the guy to ask situation to see if they really do care. It's sort of a test. But yeah, with Uriel, I'm like, I don't think that he's necessarily actually working for God either, because I don't see, God was a vengeful God in the Old Testament and all of the King James Bible, but this, he gets a little bit better.
I think it's really interesting to me because to me, the way the show is playing out, even though Lucifer is the one who made the deal and he's the one that's not following through with the deal, it always seems like God is the bad guy, which is really interesting. And I think that that's how I feel as an audience member, because obviously I've fallen in love with the character Lucifer, so I want great things to happen for him. I love Chloe. I don't want her hurt. So then when you hear about God doing all these things to try to rectify the mistakes that his son had made, I'm still over here like, God, why are you doing that?
And I think that sometimes when he's thinking that's what God wants, because we never hear God's side. I'd like to see that. It's like, maybe you're just misinterpreting some stuff, Lucifer.
That's
or
quite possible.
It's like, how do you know that? Like,
but what would be the reason for Amenadiel losing his feathers? Like, what does God have to settle with him outside of the fact that you haven't quite gotten Lucifer home? But if you are God and you are able to see down below and everything that's going on, you can see that it's not exactly easy to get Lucifer back up. Is that really justification for making his feathers fall out?
Well, to me, that may have more to do with Amenadiel's actions than Lucifer, because the losing of his feathers and his powers and things like that are certainly making him make better choices and start to learn, being a good friend to Dr. Linda and, exploring life. It's possibly just another teaching tool. Like, it seems to me that that's what God's always doing is, giving them these obstacles so that they can learn a lesson, not like just punishing them for no reason.
But he's, in a sense, then making Amenadiel more human.
Yeah.
What would be his purpose for that?
Like it's like he's trying to get him to learn, I guess if they want to be on Earth, you need to be more human. And, God created humans. And so, he did create humans in his image. So maybe that's why he's seeing his sons become more human. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the reasoning from it. I would love to see God show up on this show. I want to see who plays God. And it can't be Morgan Freeman, because I feel like that would just be, I don't know.
And Alanis Morissette, that was played out. And then, I feel that it would have been David Bowie had he not passed away, since Lucifer was drawn and his image.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Somebody brought up, I don't know if it was in the chat or it could have been in my Twitter feed. I'm not quite sure. Where did I see it? But somebody was saying that they love that they still made the reference about Lucifer being attracted to Chloe. Because we haven't really heard that out loud in a long time, And so when Maze is having this conversation with Lucifer, talking about the whole roommates thing, which he's like, absolutely not. She's like, I'm getting off track, but I love that she had the moment where she's like, pour me a drink. Fool. But I digress.
Yeah.
There was a point I got distracted by her.
Yeah, it was about the Lucifer and Chloe mentioned, because I love how he's like, you can't have sex with her before I do. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do another wager.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Lucifer.
Yeah. So that is it's still end goal, guys.
No.
More than that, though, he likes her. That'll get me on a whole new tangent about how much he likes her. So I'm just gonna stop it right now and see what you guys are saying in the chat room.
Oh, and I loved Chloe beating the girl with the yoga mat. That was wonderful.
Oh my God, is that what that was?
Yeah.
I didn't know what she was beating her with. I just knew that. Excuse me. She was taking out all her aggression on the whole tribe situation, finding out her tribe was fake. She's talking about like shitty friends or something. It's not like Chloe to lose it like that. And at first I thought maybe it was a bat or something. I must have missed the whole yoga thing, but that's funny. And I like the apology, the non-apology apology between her and Maze as well. Because even though Maze doesn't do apologies, the fact that she got herself all the way into the police department to sit and address something with her, I don't think it was strictly about, hey, are we still on for roomies? It was honestly to check on her.
Yeah, I liked that. And I liked that Maze was still Maze in that situation. And, she's like, I do kind of like you. It was funny.
Yeah, I just don't want to kill you anymore.
Yeah. And like I love how she's like, and Samantha up at the front no longer likes guys.
Yeah. Or the fact that she's like, well, I don't just whip people's asses for anybody. Okay, well, I do. But this was sweeter. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
And I like how she's like, I like your kid. Like, I hope we get more Trixie Mays scenes because those are fun.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I just watched for the first time, what is it called, with Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, Daddy's Home.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that Trixie is in it. She's the daughter of the lead character's wife. But anyways,
that's cute.
She's a bit of a butthole. But I was like, oh my God, it's Trixie. I don't know if you guys have seen that movie or not. But anyhow, okay, you guys think that Danny DeVito should be God, and I think that would be amazing. Let's see what else. Mads Mikkelsen as God. I don't know who that is.
I know. I'm like,
Anyways, well, cool. I mean, we have 3 people that are quite chatty in the chat room predominantly. So, hey.
Buckery Dog also says maybe he's a dad and he's trying to see what's best for him, talking about God with Lucifer, or trying to do what he thinks is best for Amenadiel. I mean, these are his sons, and that's what I expected. Is like, these are just teachable moments he can do with his fallen angel children.
Yeah, no big deal. Okay, so Crystal was the name of the girl that was getting her butt kicked, and you said you already saw it coming. Again, I did not see that one coming. And talking about the case a little bit, it wasn't anything of super significance for me. I personally like the storyline more so of Lucifer. No offense to anybody who likes procedurals, but like, I could actually even do without. Like, I'd rather you just say, I'm going to work, maybe show some stuff going on in the office, and then I'm cool.
Yeah, I feel that the case of the week, at least with this show, is like, it is sort of still a serial in a way, but it really is just used to tie in their feelings. Like, normally it's to let Lucifer learn a lesson, but this episode it was about Chloe and opening up to other women and making friends. It didn't turn out the same way for Lily and her friends. She killed them, but whatever.
I also wondered too, in that moment, so obviously Chloe found out that it was a bet via the phone and the picture of her, and when she read that, I wonder if she had thought that all 3 of those women were in on it. Because they didn't really clarify.
Yeah, and I think, I certainly don't think she thought Ella. Well, when Dr. Linda sort of came at the end and Maze invited her, so I was like, I think she was only mad at Maze.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Maze kept pressing the fact that you need a drink. You need a drink. And Chloe couldn't turn off work mode. She was too busy going here and there. Oh, and I loved when she approached the guy who was really sloppy and like not so attractive. Sorry, dude. No offense. And they're like, yeah, she's going for it. She's go. No, don't go for that. No. Oh my God, what is she doing? But yeah, it's amazing that even though she was intoxicated, from that far away, she could notice the fact that he had a stamp on his wrist. That was crazy. And the girlfriend too. What you doing? I'm like, oh God.
That was so funny.
For like 2.2 seconds.
I love that they did some Joan Jett karaoke.
Yes. Wait, was she really singing?
Yeah, I hope that was actually Lesley-Ann Brandt singing, because she was the one directly in front of the microphone, so you could probably hear her mostly, but everybody was really into it. I'm like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah. I'm glad that somebody else agrees with me. Buckery Dog says, do away with the procedural completely? Yes, I would love that. Yeah, I would too.
And apparently Mads Mikkelsen plays Hannibal on the Hannibal TV series, so
okay,
good to know.
I haven't seen that.
And I'm trying to still cast God. I'm like,
Everybody else is okay. So why don't you do? If you are in the chat room, why don't you, outside of Danny DeVito, who would you cast as God?
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. Let me check my notes, see if I've missed anything. I feel like I've gone through everything outside of the fact that there's a guy named Yuri who got sick and was thrown up all over the place.
Yeah, and then the douche cam. Even the Lucifer Writers Room Twitter was like, that's one of the best lines. We're so glad we wrote it.
I mean, they do such a clever job of every episode, if you ask me. Like, everything they tie into, and I don't know if it's like a conscious effort or if it just flows out when they do it, but I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
I know, and there were just so many funny lines. Let's see.
I'm like, boo, boo, boo. I feel like I've gone through. I already said, damn it, Leroy, 80 times. Damn it, Leroy. Damn it, Leroy. I was like, what? So random. Okay, yeah, I feel like I've gone through the episode quite quickly. The only thing I will bring up is at the very beginning of the episode when we discover Lucifer has his first smartphone, and he's talking to Dr. Linda, and she's like, you've done a real quick 180, because when I talked to you last week, you were very concerned and afraid, and now all of a sudden you're not? What's going on? Mom's a peach. Mom doesn't have any ill intentions. Mom is great. Is she? Doesn't she? I don't know. She had a decent little speech when she was talking to Maze.
Yeah.
And she was saying, basically, well, I'm putting up with the filth bags and with the husband so I can be closer to my family. You know nothing about that because you're alone.
Yeah.
Do you think she really means that?
Oh, I think that a little bit she does want, but I feel that there is a greater purpose to her wanting to be close to her kids. I do feel that there is somewhat of a genuine affection, but it's all to get back at God.
I wonder if she knows what the deal is, because obviously Lucifer just spilled the beans about the deal to Amenadiel. Hey. Anyways, you know, and so that's a pretty big boo-boo.
Yeah.
He really thinks he's going through a loop, and he's over here talking about, it's just one measly human soul. Could God really be that concerned? Well, here's the thing. That one measly soul is connected to you, specifically, the person that he was trying to get back in hell. So yeah, he's going to take note of the fact that you didn't follow through. That's my take on it. What about you?
Yeah, and I don't feel that God is behind Uriel coming and hitting Chloe with the car, because to me,
But how would Uriel know? Why are people paying attention to Lucifer television, if you will? Do you know what I mean? Like, how is he up in his business?
Well, it's just, you know, I guess if it were my brother, that I'm up here in heaven or wherever that is, and then I'm looking down, it's like I'd be paying attention to what my little brother was doing too, because he, you know, he's a lot like Lucifer, where he just screws up and it's funny, you know. So I'm like, I guess if I'm Uriel, I'm like, I'm watching the Lucifer show. You know?
See, and I'd be like, good riddance. I got more room in heaven just to me. I really don't care what you're doing. But that's just me. I don't know. Well, never mind. They already showed us in the preview, because I was going to say it could be a coincidence that she had gotten hit, but obviously it's not.
Yeah, like they pretty much blew that lead. Like it's like, okay, so that's exactly what happens. And, you know, again, it's all about God playing dad and lessons learned. And I feel that, yeah, because to me, there's no lesson to be learned if Chloe goes away, because Chloe is what's keeping him here and teaching him these lessons in a way as well. So she is sort of, you know, an instrument of God herself. Hence probably why, you know, he's affected by her, you know, and losing his powers and being vulnerable.
But at the same time, you're taking an innocent person and making them your instrument. So therefore, if you do take her or put her through some sort of physical, whether it's a car accident and being injured or whatever, you basically just use this poor innocent person just to, what, prove a point? Teach a lesson?
I mean, that is what Old Testament God did. Yeah.
I don't like him very much. Anyway, what are you guys saying in the chat? Oh, hi, Stephanie. You made it back. Okay. It's because Lucifer goes against what everyone else is doing, so they all take note. That makes sense. God puts a casserole in heaven just to spite her. Huh? I must have missed the way beginning of that conversation.
She burnt the casserole. Like,
That
I
I
guess
know.
that was her only scene. So I was like, maybe that's it. Yeah.
I don't know. Either way, I mean, yeah, it'll be pretty interesting to see what happens as far as in terms of Chloe and God obviously getting his revenge, if you will. And then that also puts Lucifer in a very interesting predicament, because now he has to choose mom or potential love of my life, as I like to have her. Anyway, but I feel like he would pick Chloe.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think there's even a
the
question.
The problem is mom's not going to want to go back. That's the problem. And at that point, Lucifer has no control over that. It's between mom and dad.
Yeah.
So
let them fight it out.
Yeah. Don't let it affect anybody else. Anyhow, I feel like I ran through everything pretty quickly, but if there's something that I left out, please, by all means, let me know. You at home, if I've left something out, tweet away. I'll listen, I'll watch, read, whatever. We'll bring it up. In the meantime, okay, actually, before I go into news and gossip, let's see what Steffi is saying. Anyone else notice that Crystal cut Chloe's neck, and the next scene she didn't have a cut, but she kept the black eye?
Huh.
No, but that's a great catch.
Yeah.
People always messing up. Uriel is going to be, sorry, there's something blocking the word. It's going to be the bigger brother scolding Lucifer and Amenadiel. Is he, though? I think he's going to cause trouble.
Yeah.
But that's just me. Anyhow, let's get into some news and gossip, because I have some fun videos.
TV News.
Boop, 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 boop. So we're going to pull them up really quickly. We'll see what pulls up. So I got 3 of them. Whichever comes up first, comes up first. In the meantime, anything that you want to say as far as fun goodness?
I've got nothing. I think we talked about all the funny lines tonight. And RJ Martinez has a comment about Uriel's like God's right-hand man.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to think about where he places in mythology, but yeah, probably.
Okay, so this clip that I'm about to pull up is from The Real. It's DB Woods. Woodside. Yeah, left the rest of it out. Sorry. And he's talking about Stacey Dash. So this is a little irrelevant to Lucifer, but I just thought it was funny because there's been so much controversy around her. If you don't know who she is, she was the really cute girl in Clueless. And she's said some really random things just about African Americans in general. When, what's his name? Jesse Williams was standing up for Black Lives Matter. She was calling him out on stuff. And I was like, what are you talking about? Either way, DB has worked with her in the past. Apparently, a long time ago, he said she was mean. So this is the rest of the conversation. Let's take a look.
You once worked with Stacey Dash on Single Ladies. I love that show. But you said you were happy when she left because she was unpleasant to work with. So after what she said on Fox News, that we should pretty much get rid of Black History Month and BET, you basically tweeted, "I told you so." So, what did you think about what she said?
Oh, wow.
Keep it real. This is the real.
Yes. Listen, this is what I'll say. I worked with Stacey for a year. I think that she means well. I disagree with what she said completely, but I think that sometimes we can make the mistake of just because someone has specific views that we disagree with doesn't necessarily make them a sellout.
Right.
Right? Because unless we are inside of her head or unless you've had specific conversations with her, I always think that kind of stuff is it's a little bit unfair. So I disagree with the views that she espouses on Fox News because she serves as their kind of GOP mouthpiece.
But do you feel kind of vindicated because once she said it, then you released the tweet that was kind of like a "I told you so"?
Yes, I do, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so that was the clip. I just thought it was really funny because the way he handled it was so good. You know, as far as him articulating his answer and that look he gave when, do you think... And that look on his face, I was like, yes. Okay, so this next interview is actually with the woman who plays Mum. I thought it was really cute, so take a look.
A lot of concern with, you know, is she out for revenge? What's she going to do when she gets there, if she's even coming? But I think we kind of we mix that up a little bit. I think there's more to Mom than what the audience might be expecting.
Now, how scared is Lucifer? Because Amenadiel said at the end of the finale, like, I haven't seen you scared like this before.
Well, I mean, and that's what I love about the introduction of this character, because we've never seen that dynamic with Lucifer yet. He's scared. He's really scared because basically he's got some unfinished business with Mum, and that sort of plays out in our first couple of episodes of the season. But you know, more than anything, the introduction of Mum means that there's this new dynamic in the show, and characters behave differently in front of their own mother, and that's no different for us too.
All right, so let's go into our next video really quick. The part we slightly missed is when they first introduce the interview and they ask about Mom. She points to Tom Ellis and she goes, Mom. You know, because they call her by the two different and with the accents, which is actually very interesting that Lucifer entered the body of a British person, and then you have Amenadiel, who's completely American with the... Anyways, it's really cute dynamic. This last one is actually my favorite video for tonight because I had mentioned it before as far as like with the fighting and everything like that, and Lesley just being like so kick butt. So this is something that she did for women's health, and she talks about basically that. So let's take a look at that as well. Yes, body.
I was like, damn, she looks good.
Like, yes. Love the way she took that.
Hi, I'm Lesley-Ann Brandt. I'm an actress, and you are on the set of my MMA workout with Women's Health.
She's so sweet, and then you see her kicking ass in the next clip.
The film I just shot is Painkillers. We shot that in Canada. It was really fun. I did all my own stunts. I did a little bit of sort of, lots of boxing actually. My fighting style is a lot more street. I got to really get kind of dirty with my fighting, which, you know, I was a bit of a tomboy when I was growing up. I liked. I am from South Africa, born and raised in Cape Town. Moved to New Zealand straight after school. My father was offered an opportunity in Auckland and lived there for a few years, and was fortunate enough to be cast in a show called Spartacus, which is where probably my love for boot camp training started.
I've been doing MMA for the last 5 years.
So we can go ahead and cut that. Just a no offense. But anyways, I like seeing, again, I love seeing girls that are strong, that are powerful. I love that she does her own stunts.
Yeah.
And just to me makes her more well-rounded as an entertainer.
Yeah. RJ Martinez says, yes, May's going all Buffy. I like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize she was on Spartacus, but maybe Liam McIntyre, who played Spartacus, could be God. Because he is hot. He was the weather wizard on The Flash.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
God can be shirtless.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, hey, why not?
He's a pretty guy.
Yeah.
And he and Trisha Helfer, I could see that. Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be sexy. All right, so why don't we get into some predictions, guys? And cool music. I'll just do it myself.
Your AfterBuzz TV.
We gotta have the seizure lights.
Prediction.
And I gotta spit on the mic. Literally. Anyways, okay, I just made my own stuff.
I do it all the time. And everyone says I'm Jimmy Fallon.
Okay, so predictions. Do you want to throw out some predictions? Because I'm still conjuring in my mind.
Yeah, Billie Jean Girl 18 tweeted us, do you think Lucifer is going to find out about his mother's powers? And I do think that will be definitely in the next couple episodes, definitely before the fall finale.
You know, I'm so glad that you and Billie Jean Girl brought that up, because that actually escaped my memory. I predict that eventually we will get to see God, because I would like to see God and Mom, which would that make her goddess?
Yeah.
Mrs. God?
I think that Lucifer did refer to her as a goddess.
She's Mother
so,
Nature.
Yeah.
Someone else said, you were telling us.
That was Joelle's thought. She was more Mother Nature, yeah.
Regardless, now that she has these powers, I'd like to see a toe-to-toe battle with just powers versus powers. We've not seen, we've seen a little bit of the supernatural element. I feel like it has dissipated, because we're dealing more with relationships and procedurals. And even though we had that short moment of Amenadiel's wings, we haven't seen as much as season 1. So it would definitely be interesting to see people's true beings come out. And I would love to see Chloe finally witness something that she can tangibly see and go, holy shit, you guys aren't lying.
Yeah, and she's had several moments, especially with the guy I think we'll revisit at some point that's in the mental institution after Lucifer, pulled his demon out.
Oh, yeah.
I feel that he will be back this season, and if Chloe sees something else, and she'll want to go question him again.
Right. Well, I don't know the order, because, when they do these montages for next week on Lucifer, it's never quite in order. And, of course, something is always blown out of proportion. It's like a 2-second clip, but it seems like the whole episode is about that 2 seconds. So we see the moment of the crash. The crash happened in this episode. But we also see for next episode, Chloe saying to Lucifer, why are you so concerned about me lately? But that tells me right away she obviously was not that hurt. If she's already out of the hospital and just talking. And clearly that was a warning crash to, hey, you need to follow through. But I don't know. That just leaves me like, nee.
Yeah, again, like I say, it's God being a father and teaching all these lessons, but at the same time, it's just, again, is it really God? I mean, we've got Uriel coming in, and it just seems so not God-like, wanting, putting Amenadiel in charge initially, and then Uriel, it's not, we're not getting a direct line to God. We need to get that phone from Preacher and call him up. Yeah.
Right. That would be actually very interesting. I'm curious to see what you guys think as far as your predictions. I don't see any in the chat at the moment. Okay, but anyways, thank you, though, to those of you guys. Sorry for the pause. I was just looking in our chat room. But for those of you who have been so participatory, we appreciate it so much. If you happen to catch this episode later than the live, because I know we are pretty late, all good. You can still leave comments below. We'll read them. And all those other good things. Well, that's the music. That's saying, Alikona, quit talking, shut up, end the show. So I guess I'll do that. Let me turn it to the front so you can get the wide. You can see both of us at the same time. Thank you again for joining. Be sure to join us next week, to answer some questions. Unfortunately, we just received news that Stephen will not be returning with us. He has a full plate. He runs a lot of things here at the studio, so he's juggling a lot. But we will have our third co-host back with us next week, and who knows, maybe we'll find someone else to join the panel. In the meantime, this side of the table, it's always open to you guys. I'm Alikona Bradford. Be sure to find me at Boys and Beauty 01. I always tweet out my other podcast, which is Hollywood Shit. Talk about the good shit, the bad shit, and everything in between that goes on in this crazy city. But while you're doing that, make sure you find Lacretia also.
You guys can find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet, since there is only one. And right here at AfterBuzz TV, I will be on the Flash panel tomorrow and Legends of Tomorrow on Thursday, both at 10 p.m. PST. So if you want to keep up with the rest of the DC comic universe, check me out there.
And most importantly, do not forget to bust a move. That's it. That's it. Until next week, have a good night, evening, morning, afternoon, tea time, whatever you're at right now. See you next week. Goodbye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Hail Satan!
Oh, Buzz, what? Oh.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.